Great, great, great. So anyone else new wants to say hello?
Hi, Paul.
Who's this?
This is Shane.
Shane. Let me see if
Yes.
I can find you. So are you new or just wanted to say hello?
No, I'm new.
Oh, great. How did you get here, Shane?
I have a background in recovery, did some pretty intense spiritual speaking for a while, and for many years have just kind of followed spiritual prompts, and they led me to you a couple months ago on YouTube.
Oh,
So I've
great.
watched some of your recordings and found them very moving, amazing, lots of insight, and so here I am live.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, welcome. Welcome to the Zoom world. Well, you know what I share was really how things happened, obviously. That's the only what. Yeah. And the non-duality obviously is a very unique proposition because what we were hoping to maybe arrive at later when we're ready and stuff is presented as we're already here. Yeah. So it bypasses time and space right there. Just like if you take the statement, you know, the seeker, you could, in spirituality, you could have a long story about the seeker and the sought, you know, and there may have been many different things that were sought, but there was one constant was the seeker, where non-duality doesn't put any attention on the sought, it puts attention on the seeker. Because if you see you're not the seeker, that's the sought. And that just compresses time and space beautifully. Yeah, it's a beautiful statement. Just taking the first proposition, a seeker, and then a sought, and then having it compress into a seek. The seeker is the sought, which is so beautiful because I believe this event is can be captured by uh, a verb of dreaming. Yeah? And I believe that everything is seemingly so. It's appearing to be true or false to us. It doesn't have any truth or false. It appears to be true or false to us. Not us as Paul and Jim and Mary and Dee, but us as what we are, let's say. Yeah. That's what's dreaming. And then it appears to be true or false. Actually, it's the other way. It's true or false to us as what we're not. Yeah. And this message, because every other path I entered, it was always the me that was entering it. And and a path is a path. It's something you start, and sometimes it looks like you'll never finish. Yeah. And the beauty of non-duality is so abrupt. It catches the head off guard. And so much is revealed when it's not being claimed by the head. Yeah. When a revelation doesn't get claimed by the head, it's quite revealing. And you'll have those moments. I said she had something happen. So let's say you have a moment where you see the emperor has no clothes. Yep. And that's the idea of the presentation of you as being the doer, the thinker, the feeler, the taster, the toucher. And then suddenly that emperor is seen with no clothes on. Now, the beauty of non-duality, it can lead you to a state where no matter how many pieces of clothing the emperor wears, you'll see the emperor has no clothes. Yeah, this is the beauty of it. So it doesn't, it's not another peak experience. What it does is these moments or these recognitions get extended in this place through the understanding of non-duality. Yeah. I remember I went to see some people and their point was there is no body. You know, there is no person, there is no body. And I had an incredible hit, but it was quickly claimed by a body, so to speak. Yeah. And I saw And I didn't think that was a unique event. I saw it as a pattern that no matter what happens, if you're still there, it's going to be claimed. Yeah. And the head is going to claim it and just weave it into its little narrative of the fabric of its narration. Yeah. It doesn't matter how big or how long the epiphany, as soon as that moment where the head says, I'm having an epiphany shows up, it ends, so to speak. And then the story of having an epiphany takes over. Yeah. And so uh, I was under a lot of beliefs that there could be a strong enough peak experience that could shatter that. But in my case, it didn't seem to be that way. And so the understanding of non-duality is what could extend that that flash, that sudden bammo, that sudden enlightenment, that sudden whack in time. It could extend it. It would allow it to extend in time because what would crop it, so to speak, what would like trim it, what would define it, what would package it, you see now as an activity. You're not looking from it anymore. You see it as an activity, and we call it selfing. Yeah. So a lot of times we use the term self because of coming out of recovery, but really there is no self. Self is something that's implied through the selfing. Yeah. And the selfing can't make a self. It can only imply there already is one. Yeah. It can't make a self. We seemingly make the self. Yeah. By the devoted or not devoted listening to this chant, we start taking ourselves to be something that the head has made to be ourselves. Yeah. So the head has made this idea of Paul as the body being the doer, the thinker, the one that's conscious, the one that can be unconscious, the one that can be enlightened, the one can be unenlightened, the one that can be awake, the one that can be unawake, all like this. Yep. That thing you see instead of looking from it. And it was such a big hit that I realized in this seat assignment, I wasn't going to move from there because it made no sense. Because if you don't see this claiming, you're going to be looking from it. Yeah. Because usually the epiphany, that vibrational buzz can't last that long. Yeah. That peak experience is an experience that unpeaks. Yeah. Things start getting seemingly normal after a period of time. And what extends that was revealed so suddenly in time is the understanding of non-duality, because the understanding of non-duality clears up the misunderstandings of time and space and what we are and what we're not. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's just so beautiful, really. Uh, and then the real value isn't the peak experience, it's the dog shit awareness. It's like the ordinariness of realizing you are awake, not through any effort or thought on anything's part, but as your natural state. And in most cases, the head's drive is to be unawake, really. And in a weird way, it can use things that profess to be all about awakening and pointing at awakening as a like a reinforcement of this insane idea that we're not awake. Yeah. Because obviously what drives us to seemingly get awake is a belief that we're not awake. Yeah. If that belief wasn't there and didn't take hold or didn't have a lot of interest and attention in it, the obviousness of the awakeness would land, and it would only need one landing. It would be like a knockout punch. You wouldn't have to get, pummeled for 13 rounds. It would be a knockout punch because the awakeness of that, which is seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, does it demonstrate any thought or effort? Does the seeing demonstrate any thought or effort to be the seeing? Yeah. Now, the eyes may go bad, but that which is triggering the vision doesn't go bad. The seeing, the hearing, the feeling, the tasting, and touching, in my just day-to-day evidence, revealed that there was no thought and effort in seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. So why would I believe I could arrive at that which demonstrates no thought and effort through thought and effort? It just fucking absolutely made no sense. Yeah. When I got whacked, it made absolutely no sense. And then once that one, you see, you think this is a full on knotted up fabric. But when if you just pull one of the threads, the fucking whole thing starts coming undone. Yeah. And then mental logic tries to patch it up, but it's being unwound fit quicker than it can patch it up. And then you see these huge holes in what you were relying on sort of as a GPS. Yeah. You see it and you can't, it's like Ramana implied it as your head is in the tiger's mouth. It's too late now. There's no pulling out anymore. You've seen something. You haven't. There's been a seeing of it. Yeah. But that seeing without the understanding of what's going to react to that seeing, not only your great open heart and your whatever, but the mental activity is going to claim it and imply you are the great seer. Yes, it is. And if you don't see that, you're going to be looking from it. And how are you going to see it? I don't know, maybe you'd have a flash and then another flash. It may take like two thunderbolts. You get the thunderbolt, and then you need another thunderbolt to explain what's going to happen when there's a reaction to the first thunderbolt. We've been missing the second thunderbolt, so to speak. So when we hear a beautiful parable about the lion who gets confused about it being a lion or not, and it lives with sheep and it acts like a sheep and it tries to be the best sheep it can be. And then that whole story is disturbed by meeting an older lion. And the older lion just drags the young lion. All the while, the young lion is in this sheep identification. It's believing it's a sheep being dragged by the lion. The big lion doesn't drag it to a cave to eat it. It brings it to a water hole, puts both of their heads over the water. The young lion sees the old lion's reflection and realizes it's the same fucking reflection. So it gets it's a lion finally. And then the lion goes roar. And this lion, young lion, has never roared. Every roar was like a bad ba, 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 ba. Suddenly he goes roar and the lion roars. It doesn't take 3 months of roaring classes, does it? No thought and effort being what you are. It's a lot of thought and effort trying to become what you are as what you're not. There's a lot of thought and effort in there, but being what you are doesn't demonstrate any thought or effort. Yeah. But trying to be what you are does. Yeah. And what would try to be what you already are? It has to be what you're not. If there's a trying to be what you already are, it has to be what you're not. It has to be. Yes? That's the reveal, in the movie. That's the big reveal, The person you thought was hunting the vampires is Dracula itself. The big reveal is you finally see it. Yeah. And yet that seeing it can be fucking drowned in the tub of fucking mystical elixir. Yeah. But if you have that understanding, when the reaction by the head arises, you'll see it as not you. You will not lose your seeming position or by believing you are another position. You'll see the making of that other position from awareness. You'll see it. Yeah. And then the beauty of non-duality, the understanding verifies itself. It doesn't need a lot of advertising. It doesn't need to constantly be reinforced. You do not need to chant what you are. We're living in a trance of chanting what we're not. Yeah, it's that beautiful. And then the understandings explain what happens in time. Yeah, the head reacts, claims it, tries to fit itself around it, tries to fit the message around it, and you see it, and more gets revealed. About what? About what you're not. What does it get revealed to? About what you are. What you are, the revelation is about what you're not. It's about that, and what receives it is what you are. Yes? And in what you are, it's always realized, as Ramana put it. He says, what you are is always realized. It's a infinite verb of always realized. Yeah. Incredible, eh? Yeah. So this story about the always realized, this statement was in a paragraph that was followed by a parable by Ramana Maharshi about the lady who has a beautiful necklace and then she loses it. Let's put quotations around the losing it. Yeah. And she really bums her out. Yeah. A lot of her life is based on that necklace, and losing it has really brought her a deep depression. And she's complaining to her friends, and she's asking them to join her to try to look for her necklace. And so the friends do, and they're looking for her necklace, and they hear things on the internet about someone who says they lost their necklace and found it, and they're going to go take up this pilgrimage and visit this person who found their necklace, and so on and so forth. And then one day someone just says to the lady, why don't you feel your neck? And she finally, instead of believing the head telling you you lost the necklace, she puts her hand on the neck and feels the necklace. But the mistake continues. She says, I found the necklace. In other words, until the moment she felt the neck, it had been lost. It wasn't on her neck. But when she put her hand on the neck, she found it. So now she has the great joy of finding the necklace, which is also a bogus understanding. She didn't find the necklace. Yes? It was never lost. See, this is what happens. Something occurs. There's, let's say, a whack, and then there's the claiming of the whack, and then a misunderstanding is made out of the whack. Yeah. The great joy of finding the necklace wasn't based on the necklace was lost, was it? It had always been here. Do you see? There's a secondary thing. There's a belief you lost something that you haven't lost. And then when you find it, there's a belief that you found it, which you haven't lost. Yes? Neither of those are correct. The correction is you never lost it. It was never lost, and there wasn't the joy of finding. Yeah? Because the joy of finding is going to lead to another losing. Yes? And so on and so forth. And something in your head is going to play God. It's going to tell you if you're close. Remember when you used to play a game, they would call it hot and cold, and they'd hide something in the bushes, and the adult would be going, you're getting warmer, you're getting warmer. And then if you went away, you're getting colder, you're colder. The sadisticness of the head has you looking for what you already are in the fucking bushes. And it's telling you you're getting warmer, and just you're really close. You did something stupid. It's cold. It's unbelievable. This message neuters all that. You are what you're looking for. Yeah. It doesn't explain or make excuses for that statement. It's a clear and clean statement. You are what you're looking for. So obviously, what you're taking to be you ain't you, because you don't seem to be looking for that. You seem to be looking from it all day, trying to get out of it, not trying to get into it. Yeah. So what's looking is what you're looking for. Well, the you that's looking for ain't it. Yeah. It is and it ain't. And so this is the beauty of non-duality. It brings understanding to us that will allow you to see the misunderstandings where every moment of being alive that gets claimed by the head and is used to bind you to some freaking crazy idea, you'll be finally able to see it. Yeah. That's to me is the point. The point of non-duality is just a super clear clarity about this premise. Yeah. And maybe life will add clarity about other things to you. Maybe it won't. But at least you'll be clear about this, and blue will be blue and red will be red, and the horse will be before the cart, which it's always been. You've just been looking at it as if the cart was in front of the horse. Yeah. And these things will hit you, and then there'll be a peace not arrived at through agitation, but as an inherent possibility. Yes, it ain't going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Here it is. Yes. Yeah. So this is how I see it. This is the premise. Yeah. If you are what you're looking for, what's going to be affected most by that? The looking for it, obviously. I mean, how much, it's not a big leap, a philosophical leap. What's going to change? You're looking for it. If you are what you're looking for, you're going to change. What's going to change is the looking for it. It's just gonna, you'll see the bogusness of using the light to find the light. Yeah. As the great Huang Po said, you cannot use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. You cannot use big M mind to seek mind, and you cannot use light to seek light. Obviously, he was seeing us as the Buddha, light and mind, not as Jim and Jill and Paul and Bill. Yes? He was seeing us as the nature we are. And he was saying, whatever you're doing right now, that using that nature that you are to look for the nature that you are isn't gonna fucking work. Yeah. He was not even, he had no compassion at all. He said, you can do it for eons and nothing's going to happen. So, yeah. This is beautiful because your failures were your greatest successes. All your spiritual failures were your greatest successes. If they would have worked, you'd really be screwed. Because they failed, you were left with your own devices, and finally you saw that your own devices aren't your own devices. Yeah. You don't need a tool of picking up something if you already are that. You don't need a tool to look as far as you can when you're right where you are. You don't need a tool to get this. Yeah. The reliance on the tools are meant to fail, so you realize there's no time or space for you to go through or get to be where you already are. Yes, beautiful. And every time it wants to fucking grow up a magical tree, the understanding of non-duality cuts it down quicker than it can grow another one. Yeah, really. And then the loss of interest occurs, and you lose interest in the Paul Bunyan of the mind. You do. You just lose interest in it. Yeah. Now your peace isn't determined by what's going on. My surface the last few days has been a lot of anger. I've been dealing with Wi-Fi company. It's been insane. Did that ruffle up the peace? No. You got to bark with a Wi-Fi company. If you don't, you're not getting the treat. If you just, passively take it. In this case, to get Wi-Fi, the meek is not going to inherit the world. It's not going to inherit the Wi-Fi. You just got to bark at them, and then you break them down. They finally give you what you were looking for. Yeah. Hours of being on the phone. So this message is you don't have to get anything. That's the beauty. Your failing to get it is the value, is the validation of you being what you are. Yeah. If you could get it, it wouldn't be you. Ah. So fail away, get frustrated as hell, because it's not you getting frustrated. It's the head getting frustrated. And the head reveals a lot when it's frustrated. It reveals its limitless, its limitedness, its finiteness, its smallness, its myopicness. Yeah. Its failedness, really. And seeing that it's failed is the greatest success it can offer you. Yeah. Because if you keep looking, keep trying to get, keep trying to have what you already are, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get what you're not in spades. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm happy to come here. It's a blast sitting with people. Some people are exercising, other people are prone. They're laying. It's like this is the lullaby before they go to sleep. Other people came here with pens and papers a weeks ago. They don't do that anymore. They fuck the notes, they whatever. Yeah, I'm just not gonna get it. And I don't understand why I even keep coming back. Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to understand it. If you're drawn to this place, come. Something's working. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyone have anything to say? Ethan.
Yeah,
Ethan.
Frank's trying to reach you. He's trying to
Oh,
get Frank is trying to get to you.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan
Keep
has his
on
hand. Hi,
riding,
Ethan.
brother. 10 more miles to go now. Yeah. We'll just keep adding miles, bro. There you go. Why can't I arrive? Well, it always seems to be ahead of me. Yes, yes.
Yeah, you've got two other hands now, stationary hands.
All right. Ethan had one, so
Yeah,
Ethan,
I'm sorry. I can't help but try to understand, the crux of what you're saying, and it doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, do you think, if it is true that, we don't have any sense of effort in this process, that if that's really the case, that, listening to a
can
message
you
like
stop for a
this.
second, Ethan? What I missed that one word, the sense of what in the process?
Yeah, so if we have if there's no amount of effort that can take us to understanding what you understood, then is listening to a meeting like this or a message like this any different than trying to buy a bunch of lottery tickets or trying to get
Well,
struck by
yes
lightning?
and no. It matters what the mind is like before it. Yeah.
Hmm.
If the mind was in a certain point, a lottery ticket sale would be like satsang. If the mind is in a sense of I'm the doer of all this, satsang could be a form of bondage. Yes. It has
Hmm.
nothing to do with the act. It has to do with the mind before the act,
Hmm.
the BM mind. Yes.
And is there any free will in that process?
I love you saying that. That's beautiful because I'm going to revert back to the godfather of non-duality, Ramana Maharshi, because I think this is the best explanation that I ever heard. And I feel it a lot. So he had this question many times, and the people were asking, is there free will or is there predetermination? And then a tricky little one, oh, is free will a part of predetermination? So, and he said, listen, he says, if there's a sense of individuality, there's going to be a sense of free will. That's the best explanation I ever heard. A sense of individuality. Is for there to be a sense of individuality, must there be an individual, or can the head manufacture a sense of individuality? So the sense of individuality comes along in the package deal, which a sense of free will. So in your heart of hearts, you can have a very clear understanding. There's no free will, but it's not going to blend into the action figure. The action figure is going to believe it has free will because the action figure is the representation of the sense of individuality. Yeah. So what happens with this message is you lose interest in that topic of free will or predetermination because you realize you can go to a 2-week seminar about free will, and when you leave, go to Baskin and Robbins, and then that whole 2 weeks gets blown out of the water because you were believing you were going to order mocha and then you got vanilla. Yeah. And therefore you dash the whole story and you feel like you have free will again. But what's feeling like it has free will is not you. Hallelujah. Yes? So let the head feel like it has tons of free will. It's quite revelatory because you're not it. Yeah. And therefore you'll stop wasting time trying to change a programming of the action figure. It's not AI. The action figure is a program. And there's certain things that no matter what, it's going to believe. And one of them is self can get out of self. It truly believes that. No matter how much evidence you have in life that that's not true, it's going to still try a new vehicle to get out of itself. Yeah. Yeah. So this is really where the knowledge is. The knowledge isn't in the free will or in the predetermination. It's in that the sense of individuality does not make an individual. Yeah. So that's beautiful. So then Ramana continued this little thing and he says, the only value these questions have is to use them to see who's asking the questions. Yeah. Go back, because what's asking the questions is in a state of a sense of individuality. It's not you asking the question. It's the programming asking the question. Yep. Pretty good. So that's how I see it. So in a way, and you're probably going to do a lot to get to the point that you didn't need to do anything. This is somehow how we arrive at success is through a lot of failure. Yeah. So a lot of us here have tried a lot of years to try to better ourselves and purify ourselves and get us clearer. And it's in that, all of that effort to succeed has never fulfilled that goal of succeeding, but it really fulfilled the greatest goal of failing, because we are what we're trying to arrive at. This is the assumption of non-duality. Yeah. And you can come to believe this so deeply that you live that assumption. Yeah. And therefore you lose interest in looking for what you already are. You just lose complete interest in it. Yeah.
But don't you think it's interesting that some people succeed in their failure, right? Like, I guess, like, such as you. So you have seen it, at least theoretically speaking and experientially as well. Whereas others will spend 7 consecutive decades trying to chase after this truth, as you put it, and it just won't be seen, right?
Yeah.
And I guess, is that just a matter of luck in your opinion?
Well, it's just like, there's another great example in this place, this dreaming, which is addiction and alcoholism. Yeah. Some people get it and they get sober and they stay sober the rest of their life. Other people don't. Yeah. So in a way, this place turns out to be a very, very defined dualistic expression, and that's it. Some people will and some people won't. Yeah. That's the way it goes. Some people don't do squat and everything comes to them. Some people work super hard and they lose everything. Yeah. This thing with our mental logic is unapproachable because we feel like we're a special someone and something should happen, and it doesn't make sense. And nothing does really. The mental logic, its whole logic doesn't make sense when you see it from outside. Yeah. But while you're in it, the mental logic, our understanding of what's going on is not a clear understanding, obviously. Yeah. So some people, they they end up in a bottom as an action figure, and in that bottom, something happens, and they're introduced to a way of life, and they have a moment, and that moment is extended by a new design for living, let's call recovery, and they now live the rest of their life sober. Others have tried and gotten sober many times, but seem to always go back out. Yes? This is how it looks. Yeah, this is how things go. Yeah. But I humbly believe this ball game is completely very, very different, because the firm in faith in this something else the head makes to be us is at the expense of an active denial of what we are. I believe that can be altered quite a lot. Yeah. And it may look like it was just a little bit altered, but that could be quite a lot for the experience. Yeah. Because this is based on, I humbly believe, a fact, a truth, a truth. Yeah. A lot of other shit isn't. And so when you put yourself into this, or if there's a faith that's representing you and this faith goes into this truth, that's an incredible combination. Because we're used to making shit out of nothing. Could you imagine if that faith that can make shit out of nothing landed in that fact? Yes. It may allow you to override all the programming of the action figure and everything on a moment-to-moment basis, yeah, where you're living large, so to speak. I have great faith in it, because it's not about you getting it. It's about you realizing you're never going to get it. Yeah. So if it was about you getting it, I would have to, I'd probably have to have a lot of committees giving me authority to talk to you about you getting it. But because you are the obstruction, not the target. Yeah, I have great faith in it. Yeah, I do. Here, Ethan, in this scenario, we're not trying to get to you or anyone here. We're actually trying to throw it over your head. Yeah, because I'm not aiming at you. I'm aiming at what you are. And I can't miss what you are, but I can miss you. And I'm really trying hard to throw it over your head, so I miss you. And you realize all your stretching and trying to grab and understand is incapable of it. And in that recognition of failure is a great success. Yeah. Yeah. So wish me luck, bro.
Pray for failure. Great.
Yeah, wish me luck. I see it. People here come, they're pissed off, frustrated. I'm always happy about that, because you should be really worried if their head is very, very calm and assured of itself. That's really scary. When it gets frustrated and throws a tantrum, it shows its underbelly. Yeah, it's a good view. Yeah. There's a recognition of what you're not, and know what happens? A migration of interest and attention. It moves out of this idea of you being the fixated addiction, and it spreads interest and attention, and now your day is enriched by the interest and attention. You're not trying to get out of it every second, your interest and attention. You're enjoying the interest and attention, because it's not magnified in an addictive manner around this idea of you. It's dispersed. It's like relaxed. Yeah. Yeah. It's a much nicer way to travel instead of having that huge mental cloud around the skull. Yeah. It's open and dispersed. Yes. It's pretty cool. And that's why I come back every week. I don't know why. I can make shit up. But one of the reasons why I come back is it gave me a dog shit bonus, which is traveling lighter through this event. And I'm sure I have a true belief you can travel really heavy through this event.
Yeah.
It can be super heavy for you. So stabilized lightness is like has great value where I'm sitting. Yeah. Yeah. So nice to see you, Ethan. Thank you for showing up, and I hope I see you again. Yeah. We got iPad 3 raised hand.
Dana.
Dana.
Hi,
Dana,
yeah, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, good. Um, I get confused with non-duality still, and when I was talking to Mike one day after everything was over, I said, "How do I understand non-duality?" And he said, "Well, first you have to go back to being a kid." And and I thought about it, and I tried to go back there, and I realized that as kids, we didn't think about anything. When we wanted to ride our bikes, we rode our bikes. We weren't constantly thinking about this or that or what's going to happen or anything. We were just out there riding our bikes, and I think, well, is that what it's supposed to be? I'm not going to have an.
Hey,
I'm
Dana,
not going to.
Dana, can I 1 second? I have a living example right now. Just go to the Zoom square of ham and cheese. And now picture yourself a little smaller with a larger frame, and there you go. There it is. He's riding a bike.
Yeah, and I have to insert something because I'm the last person to ever say you have to do something.
Yeah.
So I did not say that way.
That's right. That's good. But there you go, right? Only a couple of squares away from you is the living example. And look at how he's smiling. He's like a ham and cheese that doesn't believe he needs mayonnaise. He's free from that desire for mayonnaise. He's just ham and cheesing. It's good. It's good, Dana. All right, go back. Sorry, I interrupted. It's just two. I couldn't miss it. It's right there.
I just get confused about what it is and thinking about being a kid and how your mind is not wrapped around every little thing that's happening all the time. You're in 10 different places at once. You're just in one place.
Exactly, honey. And don't worry about the confusion. Yeah. Don't get confused about the confusion. Yeah.
Okay.
Just look at it as a cloud. It's moving through the sky. It's going to disappear. It didn't affect the sky at all. Yes.
Nope.
Right.
So the
Okay.
ultimate fact of what you are isn't being upset or disturbed by anything. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. See that which wants to know and is confused isn't you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't have to try to be a kid. You are a kid at heart.
Yeah.
There you go. Enjoy yourself. Get a bike. An electric bike now.
Yeah.
We got to
That's what
cut.
I need at my age, an electric bike.
We got to cut the pedaling out. Yes. Nice to see you, Dana.
Thank you.
When you first came in, honey, your facial structures changed a lot. You should be very happy about that. You're much more at ease than you were when we met. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I say that's a good indication. Yeah.
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 Don't-
I feel it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone? All right, Dana? You all right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. We
Yes.
have iPad 3 raised hand.
That's the same one.
Oh.
She
Oh,
just
that was. Oh,
ignored.
yeah. That's Dana. I already forgot.
Now you've got D's hand up.
Oh, D. Come on in, D. At the Murray River. I can't see D. Oh, there, D. Where are you? Murray Cod. I can't see you, D, or hear you. I think you're muted, D.
Oh,
Mute.
hang on. There you go.
Oh, you got it. You
Oh.
got it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm also in recovery, nearly 7 years clean and
Great.
sober. And after busting at 10 years sober, but you know, got back on the bike. Yeah, it's just amazing listening to you, and because that's where I was at. Only a couple of days ago, I was in that frustrated, oh, how can I get this? Like, it was just so painful for me, you know? And I even said to myself and the universe, how much pain does a person have to go through, you know? That's how much pain I felt like I was in, and it was just emotional, like mental stuff. And yeah, it changed in an instant, and now I'm able to, you know, come on the Zoom meeting and actually be a part of something, and that's what I really want to do, to, I don't know, to continue my journey, I guess. I don't know what the journey is, or whether I'm off the journey now, or what, but I'm happy, you know. I'm really, like, everything you say now makes sense, you know. Before it was like, what the hell is he talking about? But now it's making sense to me, and yeah, that's all.
Hey, Dee, are you near the river?
Yep.
I wanted to do this for a long time. Dee, I'm like a man standing next to the river selling water.
Yep.
It's even funnier that I'm a man in the river selling water. The Murray River,
Yeah.
to be exact. You get that one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not buying.
uh, now we're just sharing water. Isn't that nice?
What's that?
Now we're just sharing water. We're not buying, we're not selling, we're sharing.
Yeah, lovely.
Yes, exactly. Where
Yeah.
the Murray River is rivering. That's the beauty, eh? That's an
Yeah.
old story we used to use. Remember, we used to use the story about the guy, he camps in front of the Murray River, and then he puts a glass and a holder, and he brings some of the river home with him, but he lost the essence of the river, which is the rivering, yes? So he has the water, but it's not moving now. That's the essence of it. So the essence of this is rivering. It's seeing, it's being, it's presencing, it's availability. Yes, it's a ing. Yeah. So you may think you have something, but when you think you have something, you've lost something, probably the essence of it, which is can't be had. It can only go along with. Yeah. You don't have the current of the river. You go along with the current, or you go against the current. You don't have the current, do you? You cannot capture that. You cannot capture the movement in the movement of the water. You can't capture that. Yet it defines the whole event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you need to do is sense, are you going with it or against it? And you have a sense you're going with it. And Dana's having a sense she's going with it. And Ham and Cheese is having a sense he's going with it. He'll have a stronger sense when he gets off that crazy bike, but he will have that sense of going along with it.
I think it's.
Yeah. Yes. So this is it. This is the point. There's no need to know the current. You feel the current. Yes. You get moved by it. How much more do you need to know? Yeah.
Yeah, you get moved by it. And yet, through all the frustration, I kept coming back. You know, it was like,
Yes.
what's compelling me?
No.
I'll go back to the frustration.
Who knows? See, this is beautiful because remember when you were young, you were doing something and you thought you were doing it for a reason. And then suddenly the reason was completely removed or anything, and you still saw yourself doing it. We don't have any idea what's happened. Most of the time, we don't know where
Yeah.
we're being moved to or what's moving us. We have no idea. The head just makes up a story. Yeah, it does.
I'm on a call.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear the dog. All right, see you.
Sorry, Paul. Somebody's
Okay,
trying to
honey.
talk to me.
Enjoy yourself.
They
Didn't
didn't
you have
realize
that
I was
when
on
you
a
were
Zoom
young?
call.
I'm not talking to D, to everyone. Didn't you have it? You had a story that the reason you did certain things, and it was this reason that made you do those things. And then the reason is gone and you still find yourself doing the shit. I had this big story when I got sober that the reason why I acted out in this certain way was because of cocaine use. So then I stopped using cocaine and I have these bouts of acting out again. There goes that fucking story. So many of my stories got null and voided. It was just, you're just like fucking grasping at straws, basically, to try to make sense out of something that can't be made sense of from the logic we're relying on. Yes? This mental logic is failed. It doesn't work well. That's why when it's confronted with its failure, it says, oh, that's paradoxical. Or that, no, it isn't. It's just, you're seeing it from a failed system. It can't make sense out of shit that works. It's all here. Constant evidence. Yeah. In this case, you don't need new eyes. You need a pair of glasses. The pair of glasses is the understanding of non-duality. Use them. You're not going to become dependent on it. They're going to use them, and then your vision will get cleared up. Yes? So we're not here trying to explain the unexplainable or to trying to get really into the moment. We're trying to explain what tells you you're out of the moment. Yeah. That's what we want to explain. We want to explain what can be explained. We want to describe what can be described. We want to understand what can be understood. Yeah. Those attributes are not applicable to what we are. You can't understand what you are. You can't know what you are. You can't define it. You can't describe it. Because you're it. Yeah. You can describe everything else you're not it. That's not you, that you can see, but you can't describe this because it's you. Yeah.
And that's,
You can describe the mental you because it's not you. You can describe it. You can see it. It's got a finite bag of tricks. Yeah. It just loops upon itself. This is not the infinite scroll. It's a very finite, limited scroll that plays over and over. Yes? It's like the marathon runner is watching a movie about a racetrack, but he still feels irritable, restless, and discontent. Yes? He needs to get out of the closet and run. Yeah? Watching the marathon races isn't working. He needs to get out there and run. This is a living message. Yeah. It's relying on the assumption, which I believe is a fact, that you are what you're looking for. It relies on that. It relies on the statement of Ramana Maharshi, the greatest mystery, being ourselves reality, is reality wanting to attain reality. These statements are the bedrock of the invitation of non-duality. Yeah. If you look down, you're not going to see him. If you look up, you're not going to see him, because what you're looking for is what's looking. Yes? You are the bedrock of the message of non-duality, literally. Yeah. I hope you find it because you haven't lost it. And I'm sure it's going to bring some lightness. Now, your head may not tell you, but after a while, you won't be listening to the head, and you'll see, you know, what's fucking working. Yes. I have been relieved of a lot of bondage, not by breaking any chains, but seeing I'm not that which is chained. Yes. This is not a new technique to break the chain of the bondage of self, is seeing you're not that. That's all. And then what kills the beast is a loss of interest. That, you know, it's just like when the Wizard of Oz got seen behind the curtain. Before you could see him, you thought it was huge. When you see it, it's quite small. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You'll finally see something that you felt represented you every second of every day as not you. And there's going to be a migration of interest. You don't have to whistle for it. The interest and attention is going to leave. Yeah. And if it leaves to at a sufficient amount level, you're going to be traveling lighter as a stable basis throughout this life. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. If it hasn't reached that level, it will. This value, this benefit is in time, and it's of time. If it's not solid now, just keep entertaining and it will be. Yes? And you'll know you're resting on something solid because you're going to relax. Yeah? Yes. Yeah. So there you are. That's it for tonight, I guess. And no, we have anyone else? No?
Yeah.
Oh, Saraswati. Come on in, Saraswati.
Hey there, everybody. Hi, Paul.
Hey.
I just wanted to share that I'm traveling a little lighter.
Oh, great. That's nice.
Yeah, I just thought I'd share that. It's incredible. And then occasionally the word denial sneaks into my realm, and I just wondered if you would just speak to that. It seems like it's self trying to get out of self, but I thought I'd just pass it over to you and see if you have any comment on that. Thanks so much.
Yes. Well, denial and negation are quite different. So denial is a reaction of the head to something it takes to be so real, it's seemingly unbearable. Yeah? To me, that's denial in a lot of ways. Negation is just telling the truth about things, that they come and go, that they're not you, and stuff like that. So negation doesn't have the same feeling of denial. Yeah? That's my take today.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, good.
And
Yes.
denials of the head.
Denial is usually of the head. See, my life in out there using drugs and alcohol, I had Arnie Schwarzenegger's muscles of denial. I was keeping a lot of facts about my life out as hard as, I mean, it was a lot of stress, and it's like holding a weight all day. And if you let it go, it's going to squish you. I mean, that was denial. Yeah. This isn't denial. This is negation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Negation is something completely different. Yeah. Yeah. The thing with denial is you're trying to disappear something that seems to be really, really appearing. Yeah. In this case, you just tell the truth about appearances, and some of their influence and meaning disappears. Yes. Through
Mhm.
negation. And the biggest one is that all this mental activity was you. That's a huge, that's an incredible relief when you find out it isn't you. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that's how I see it in one way, denial and negation. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Yes.
Thoughts are a bit like digestion, and it just happens naturally by itself. And maybe when we put a microscope over things, like when you had that.
Yes, of course. Yes. Well, yeah.
Thoughts just need to sort of digest the way stuff digests parasympathetically or without being attacked.
Well, we having a question here. There's people here, so I don't know if you heard that, but it's more about letting things flow instead of noting and naming everything that's noticed. Yes. And I'm a big believer in that. I think a lot of times people, once name and form is given to something, it tends to have some weight. Yeah. So a lot of the power that seems to bite us in the ass comes from our misunderstandings. Yeah. Like the Course in Miracles said that you and I are the dreaming of the dream. Yeah, that's a pretty clear statement. Yes. You may agree with it or not, but it's not a very ambiguous statement. You and I are the dreaming of the dream. Yeah. We forget that. Wow. All right. To me, that was a very interesting statement. What kind of function is allowing that to happen where that which is dreaming forgets it's dreaming? Yeah. That to me was a very profound thing. And how it was revealed with me was how we forget it is taking ourselves to be the dreamt, yeah, or the body. The body obviously is an appearance in the dreaming. And so when the dreaming takes itself to be the dreamt, an amazing thing happens. Everything the dreaming is giving meaning to now has the ability to bite it in its dreamt ass. Yes. So if you look at this as like an antiseptic diagnosis, it's a diagnosis of every day here. Every day there's a forgetting that we're the dreaming. And in that state of dreaming, we're giving everything all the meaning it has. And when we start giving things the meaning it has as the dreamt, we give things the ability to affect us as the dreamt. And so it is, yes? So there's these lessons they would teach in the Course in Miracles, which would try to go against that, which is my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Wow. So would you be afraid if you were assured of invulnerability of any attack thoughts? Obviously not, yeah? They could attack away and nothing's going to change because I'm invulnerable to that attack. Yes? Where is that invulnerability found? Is it found in the dreamt or in the dreaming? It's found in the dreaming. Yeah? So a little bit of the acknowledgement that you're not the dreamt is a little more of an acknowledgement that you are the dreaming. And then some of the meaning that you gave to everything to fucking affect you gets removed a little bit. Yes? So now the thoughts that used to affect you so much by being held as your thoughts don't have the ability to affect you as much because you just see them as thoughts. They're not yours. You're not the owner of them. You're not the thinker of them. Yes? Change is fucking everything. So the more you lean into the dreaming and less as the dreamt, the more ability you have to travel later through this fucking event. Yes? And this event is not just the events of out here, it's the events in the head, which are mostly completely made up. So we're not even talking about the terrain the action figure is actually going to travel, the miles it's going to go, and the time and the space and the time it's going to take. We have tons of shit going on in the head that's actually not happening. Yeah. This is where the traveling lighter is incredibly an imperative, man. It really is, because how are you going to undo the effect of something that was never actually done? So you get caught in what the Course in Miracles would talk about, at least how I see it, is you're being at the effect of causeless effects. Causeless effects. So an effect that's imagined or made up does not have a cause. Yeah. We're living a large amount of our day dealing with causeless effects. If you could see them as causeless, there would be less of an effect, don't you? You see it? Its effectiveness on you would diminish greatly if you saw it wasn't a cause. You weren't the cause, da 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 da. Yes, please. This isn't about it's never going to rain. It's about you're going to be able to travel through the rain a lot later. Yes. This isn't about, oh, there'll be never another thought in your head. That's a fucking thought, literally. So, yes. So this isn't about a peace because everything else gets erased. No, it's a peace with everything else going on. Yeah? Yeah. That's wishful thinking. Oh, that's what they try to do. They have it in America. If you're willing to pay, they will create a space, a retreat, which is all controlled. Yeah. You'll get fed. You won't make outside calls. You live in a place, da, da, da. You'll have 2 weeks where a lot of things that influence you aren't influencing you. And it's all great and good. And your plant of spirit grows pretty well, but you're going to be transplanted back into the way things are. It blew me away when I was at this retreat once, and after 14 days, I was going to leave. And they stopped me before I left, and they started telling me all these things. Are you going to drive home? I said, yeah. They said, don't take the freeway. Yeah. It's too crazy. It will affect what? This precious condition that can only grow in this rarefied air called a retreat? Don't listen to heavy metal music while you're driving home. Try not to see anybody who triggers you. Give me a break. It was like I had a 3,000-year-old piece of crystal I had to protect. That's not it. This has to be a sturdy, all-terrain vehicle type thing. Yeah. This tread isn't meant for fucking silk. It's meant through going everyday shit. I could blow everyone's retreat. I don't care how long is it. Let's say the 8th day of the retreat, we're going to call a Wi-Fi network. Comcast, AT&T, Frontier, whatever they are, T-Mobile. 3 hours of having them going, okay, I'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm going to find out what's going on. 3 hours of that. Everything that was produced in the first 8 days is gone. It's fucking gone. Yeah. This isn't something that's produced and it doesn't go. Your attention may not land there, but it doesn't mean it's not available. Yeah. All right. That's that. I'm happy. Yeah.
Hey, Paul, can I ask you something real quick, hon?
Yes.
So, being ourselves reality, there's dreaming.
Yes.
And being ourselves reality, somehow the dreaming turns into the dreamt, and we believe it. But that's just the head.
See, we believe it. So the head believes it.
Yeah.
And then you have the experience of life.
Yo,
with the
Lisa,
head
open your
believing it.
eyes, please. I cannot hear what you're saying.
What? We lost somebody there.
I don't know what that was about.
Zoom bomber.
Oh, Zoom bomber. So as you were saying, the head and everything is having an experience of how it sees things.
Right.
The basis of that experience is not an experience, and that's what's seeing how we see things.
Yeah.
So the awareness is always going on, and it's just seeing the show, so to speak.
Right.
It doesn't have a dog in the hunt. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yet
Right.
it's not going to bark if you just land back there. Well, you never left, so yes. But hopefully the real value of this information is going to be with the traveling through this experiential event. Yes.
It gives real credence to what we're not. It just makes it very clear. Anyway, so it seems, because it's being ourselves reality. There's dreaming. Dreaming's just happening in reality. And because we're reality, we can see that. We see it.
Yes.
The
Exactly.
trouble is when we believe it as an action figure,
The
and it's
beautiful thing is you can get over that though, because if you see you're not that which is believing it, that's the back door. Because see, this is where the spirituality gets stuck. They get in information and now they see like they're the culprit that's believing in something, and therefore it's subtly suggested they got to start unbelieving. This is an answer to that wave that people get drowned by. The answer is you're not that which believes. Yes, you're not that.
belief is just a thought.
Just keep pulling the rug out. There's
Right.
no one who has that thought. Yes, it's just pull it
Exactly.
out. Yes.
Yes.
You don't have to pull it out for long for the head to realize, yes, there's no flaw under its little fucking story. Yes. FLOOR. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, sweetie. I love you.
So this is going to bring about, just like in recovery, there's a simple recognition, and how it's described is shared quite a lot by people who get sober, which is something is doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. So whatever that may be, let's call it the dreaming, is now doing for me as the dreamt what I could not do for myself as the dreamt. Yes? Which is I'm allowed to travel lighter. And then the dreamt in its limited capacity has an unlimited gratitude and honoring and awe, AWE, for that, whatever it is that's allowing things to happen that it couldn't produce. Yeah, which is the essence of traveling lighter. Yeah, that's how I see it. Yep. Maybe it's because this is, to have the choice to seemingly be gone would bring about a joy of never having left. Yeah. The seeming that you believe that you could be gone, in a way brings about a great joy in the fact on having never left. So maybe that's one of the reasons why this whole fucking thing's going the way it goes. Yeah. Maybe the constant taste of infinity doesn't mean anything too much. Now you have a taste of finiteness, and then a little drop of infinity. Wow, it's a huge amount of appreciation. Yes, who knows? You got drunk on finiteness. You need to get sober with the infinity. Yeah, seriously. We're trying to get, the finite is not going to fulfill the finite. Only the infinite can. Try as we may, and many of us have, it doesn't work. Yeah. So thanks, honey. All right, I'm going to say goodbye now. Mike, as always. Hey, Mike, Steve in San Diego, can you give him through the chat your information? It's going to help.
I have a question as like a younger person.
I just muted.
Yes,
muted.
cut it off. Yeah.
That was on Bill Churchman's square though, but I muted it anyway.
Yeah, and mute it, because if you don't see Bill Churchman, it's not Bill Churchman.
Oh, how weird.
Bill Churchman's like 7 feet tall. Yes.
Yeah, there's no photo at all. So
don't leave it be. Yeah.
So yeah, Steve and I are already communicating about him taking over the events updating.
Oh, great. Thank you. Good. All right, great. And there's no change over the events page this week. We're going to be at the church this Saturday.
Right, but you're going to have to communicate with him about any changes.
Yeah, I will. All right. Okay, well, let me say, Kathleen, nice to see you. Yeah. William S., always. David, down under. Sherry, San Diego. We've got Who is this? I missed him somehow. Oh, yeah, it's Merrill, right? Nice to see you again, hon. D, enjoying the
I have a
Murray
question.
River?
When is the next
I muted it
Yeah,
again.
that's not Bill Churchman, so yeah,
Yeah.
just let it go. They just went through Bill Churchman. Yeah, unless he's become a kid again. Sounded like a younger version. So we have Kenneth in Vancouver. Nice to see you, Kenneth. Yes. Anu, as always, my little rock of Gibraltar. Nice to see you, Anu. Shannon Corkery. Yeah. Now, if I was a teacher in school and you were in my class, I would have called you by your last name a lot. Shannon Corkery. For no reason whatsoever. I just like the name. Lisa M., Alabama. Yeah. A lot of country western songs were written about Lisa M. Yeah. Samuel Eban. iPad 3 Dana. Yeah. Miss Amelia. Nora. Mia. They're the live folk here. Steve, San Diego. Alan Olson. Shane S. Yeah, I've met Shane before. I've seen him. Kerry. Chris D. Saraswati, traveling lighter, nice. Tofa, I'm so happy to see him back. Nice to see him. Eric P. Let's see. We got phone numbers. Fletch. Oh yeah, Fletch. Call me up soon. Tomorrow's the day, bro. Susanna W. I think I got everybody. Thank you, everyone. Pleasure. Thank you, Dee, for bringing us to the Murray River. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Paul.